Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a request from my friend Efree. Hope he's doing well. Hope his New Year's and everything's going well for him. Again, sorry for the lateness of these videos. I'm trying to get them out to people as soon as I can. But this is for the Neon Demon. Now, if anyone wants to request any type of video, whether it be a topic, review, re-review, random thoughts, video game playthrough, commentary, reaction, ranking, tier list, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. Do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to it as soon as I can. The Neon Demon. Directed and co-written by Nicolas Winding Refn. You know, if I did a list, which I don't know who else would be on the list, of top 10 directors that were disappointing, meaning you thought they were going to go one way and they didn't, or you thought they had so much potential but they didn't, he would be on there. Because I really do enjoy Drive with Ryan Gosling. I think that's a very stellar film that grew on me. Because when I first saw Drive, I went, I don't know about this. Because at that time, with the way films were at that time period, what was it, around 2011, give or take? There's a lot of films that were not like that during that time period. So it felt different, and it felt like a different vibe, a different tone, and went, couldn't get a handle on it the first time I watched it. I'm like, it's okay, but then I'm like, but wait a minute. I wanted to watch it again, and I did. And the more I saw the film, I went from I liked it okay, oh, I really enjoy it, now I fucking love it. Because it had that straightforward story, it's simple, but it's such a wonderful vibe with the soundtrack and beautiful lighting, the look of the film. Albert Brooks, Ryan Gosling, everyone did a great job. Really liked Drive. Everything the guy has done since, I've hated. I hate Only God Forgives. Only God Forgives, but we don't. I sure as fuck don't. I know my friend Efree don't. We both hated that movie. Because the trailer sold you on one movie, that gives you a completely different movie. This is like, take Black Swan, but make it suck. Take, honestly, kind of Matt Scene, which I didn't mind, and make that suck. Because that's also about someone trying to get into the business, and there's some shenanigans going on, but at least someone tries to fuck with her, she steps on a guy's balls and makes them explode. Who's trying to assault her. The ending of that movie is iffy, but Maxine I actually liked. Like, that to me is a much better version of this, in my opinion. This is an artsy-fartsy bullshit that has some good-looking visuals, but it's so damn boring because nothing fucking happens in the movie. Like, nothing happens for a chunk of it. Elle Fanning, who is Dakota Fanning's sister, she stars as Jessie, this up-and-coming model. She's, I think, 16 years old. She gets into town. She meets this woman named Ruby, who's a makeup lady, which I think that actress was in Sucker Punch, another crappy movie. Then you also have these other two models that they are older models and they're kind of being put out to pasture in a way. Which, hell, if you want to see someone being pushed out to pasture and then they want to change things, The Substance did that a lot better. Which, now that I think about it, my friend Efree sent me an email saying, yeah, one of the reasons I want you to see this film is this film wanted to be like The Substance, which I know he liked the film. This film wants to be that film, but this film sucks, and he's right about that. Like, you want to see a better version of this, go watch The Substance, go watch Vaccine, and other movies. Because most of the film is just, they go, get their pictures taken, and then people stare. Or a photographer goes up and puts a bunch of damn gold paint on Elle Fanning's body, which is a bit weird because she is 16 years old. I'm like, do I really have to rub a 16-year-old's body to put paint on them? I don't know. And it's like the dialogue, are you food or are you sex? Because she's dessert because she's so sweet. Which they really laid on thick on what's going to happen later. I mean, that's literally the dialogue that some of the models tell our lead character. And it's hard to even say she's a character because you don't really know a whole lot about her backstory. That you don't know a whole lot about where she came from. She meets this nice guy that they share a couple scenes with, but then she blows him off because I guess her ego is getting bigger. The idea is that the makeup artist and the other models have this envy, which grows into hatred of this model. But just not a whole lot happens. She does get her pictures taken, people stare. Get her pictures taken more, people stare. One of the older models doesn't like that she's ignored and is in the bathroom telling Elle Fanning, you know you're lucky, right? Yes, I do. She's like, I'm a ghost. I'm being ignored. I'm a ghost. Yes, I do know how lucky I am. And so the older model, Sarah is her name, she lunges. Elle Fanning goes back, hurts her hand, cuts her hand, and Sarah looks at it and starts licking her bloody hand. If it turned into they were a bunch of vampires, the story would actually make more sense if they were fucking vampires or something. Other people, Desmond Harrington I recognize as one of the photographers. He's the guy that paints her gold. Desmond Harrington, he was in Wrong Turn, which I liked, the original Wrong Turn. Elle Fanning at times throws this dialogue out as if it's going to lead to something. I'm not as helpless as I look. I'm like, yes you are. You're as helpless as a fucking Tweety bird with a broken fucking wing while a lawnmower's going after them. And you don't be mulch. You don't be in the ground with your brains out of your tail, your ass. You're as helpless as a quadriplegic on a football game. You're as helpless as that. You ain't gonna do shit, and you don't do shit. Keanu Reeves is in this film for some reason. He's in like 3 scenes. He owns his hotel. He doesn't give that good of a performance. And I love Keanu Reeves, but I'm going to call it as it is. He's not that good in this. And he's only in 3 scenes. In the first scene, Elle Fanning stays at this motel, and she's like, there's something in my room. Really? Fine. Gets someone else who's got a bat. They open up the door, and there's a wildcat in there. There's another bit where the nice guy tossed to Keanu saying, she shouldn't have to pay for that room. Oh, yeah? Well, who else could have paid for it? She had the door open, slid open. And she don't send you out for some tampons, too? Well, I figure you need to get something out of the deal if you don't help her. Hey, there's a lot of women here. Over there in that motel room, there's a 30-year-old girl. Run away. Real Lolita shit. Trust me. Real Lolita shit. So, Keanu Reeves is playing an asshole motel manager who's also probably a pedo. Then the only other scene Keanu's in is this dream scene where Elle Fanning dreams of Keanu coming to her room, slowly putting a knife in her mouth. Suck on it. Suck this, movie. And then she wakes up and then you never see Keanu again. So you think that's going to lead into maybe paranoia, that she thinks Keanu's going to do something to her, and either that paranoia is justified, and he is going to do something, or not justified. Maybe she does something to him while he's a creep, and maybe she kills him. Or, no, none of that happens, because you never see Keanu again. Never gets brought back up again. Just there to be artsy-fartsy bullshit. She hears her 13-year-old neighbor screaming for help. And what does Elle Fanning do? You think you would call the cops. No, she calls her damn makeup lady Ruby. And she says, I didn't know who to call. It's called 911, bitch. You want me to spell it for ya? 911. Dumb bitch. Does that spell it up? Do I need to turn the dial up? I don't know who to call. It's called 911. It's 3 numbers, remember. You can even dial it with your twat. I'm sure you could. Why should we care about any of these characters? Yes, Drive has a lack of dialogue, but at least there's a direction and a focus. This guy is helping this woman out, and he's going to do anything. He gets screwed over, and he's not going to run away. He's not going to turn away, because he wants to help this woman and this kid and all this stuff. So while you don't have a lot of dialogue, their actions will tell the story of why they're worth the shit. Here, none of these people are worth the shit, except maybe the nice guy, that when he gets brushed off, you never see him again, which I don't blame him. He's like, stick this up, you twat. And it's one of those films that there's some interesting visuals, sure. There's a bit where it's one of the times they're taking photographs of her, and she visualizes these triangles, and 3 of these triangles, and there's a reflection of her, and she kisses it, and like, kiss my ass movie. It's just boring as hell. And this director just puts images and it's like, you think of it. What does that mean? You think of it. I'm like, no, but you tell me. Maybe you can't tell me because you don't know. Because you just put them in there. I don't want to say, my friend Efree, please look up William Freaken and Nicolas Winding Refn. There's a bit in that interview, and maybe there's a clip as well, where William Freaken is talking about like classic movies, and Nicolas Winding Refn like mentions Only God Forgives, and Freaken says something to the effect of, "You think that's a classic?" Yes. And with Freaken, like, he does the thing like he looks at the camera and it's like, "Do you get people in here? He needs help." he gives the director shit for calling his own movie, especially that movie, a classic. It's hilarious. William Freaken, it's on YouTube. It's hilarious. Now, I like Drive, and I don't know if Freaken is a fan of Drive. He might not be, I don't know, but the fact he gives him crap about Only God Forgives made it worth it. We don't always have to agree with everybody on everything, but Refn needed to take a bit of a... Now, maybe Refn was joking. Maybe he was like playing along. Maybe that was the case. But if not, then freaking, putting him down a peg or two was actually pretty funny. But anyway, my friend Efree, if you ever see this, you definitely need to find that. I think he'd get a kick out of it. But I am being sincere when I talk about most of the film really is these kind of empty conversations that I just don't think feel have much merit. And I'm sure there's a lot of symbolism supposed to be thrown about why the wildcat and why it was a wildcat in the hotel room. Whether it be about the danger of an innocent being corrupted by this town. But there's plenty of films that have done that. They were either more interesting, they were more fascinating, they were more exciting, or they had a sense of humor, or they have symbolism that meant more. It wasn't as vague as fuck. And then when this has dialogue, it's so on the nose. Are you food? She's so sweet. We'll have you for dessert. Yeah. It just was a fairly boring movie for a good chunk of it. And then it tries to be shocking where there's a bit. Jenna Malone is the actress that plays Ruby. She's the one who's the makeup artist. And you get the idea that she likes Elle Fanning a bit too much. So she tries to hit on her. She gets rejected. So her other job, I guess when she's not doing makeup, is she works at a morgue. So there's a scene where she starts making out with a corpse, imagining it's Elle Fanning. So there's a woman, she's dead. Now, thankfully, it doesn't go further than that, like diddling her dead twat and stuff, or get on top of her. I'm actually surprised they don't go further. I'm fine with it, but with it not going further. But I guess they really show just how screwed up this person is. Because what happens is her and the two older models, they have Elle Fanning at their place where there's an empty swimming pool. Elle Fanning talks about how people want to be me and people would do anything to be me and how I look. So she's got this vanity ego about her. And then these three chase her for a bit, push her in the pool. Her parts are broken. They go up to her. It cuts away. Spoiler. Heavy spoilers. Ruby's in a bathtub covered with blood. The other two are in a shower covered with blood. And the idea is that they ate her. Not ate her like the good way, but ate her like cannibal. Like Armie Hammer. They ate her. I would say ate her ass, but some people liked it that way, you know. Make sure it's clean. But, yeah, they ate her. And so, the last scene you see of Jena Malone is in her place. There's the moonlight. She lies down. She spreads her legs. And she squirts a shitload of blood. Why? I don't know. I'm sure some type of symbolism. She just squirts a lot of blood. Maybe she caught a bad STD. I don't fucking know why. Symbolism. And the other models, Sarah's finally being looked at. The other one panics. I need her out of me. She pukes up an eyeball. I guess, I don't know, I don't know if it's guilt or, you're not supposed to take this logically. She just did scissors, cuts herself open, dies. Sarah looks at her, takes the eyeball, puts her in her mouth, walks away, end the movie. Then you have some person we don't know walking through the fucking desert. Yeah, and she's probably going to walk along fucking Johnny Depp and the Lone Ranger, which he walked to the fucking desert too at the end of that movie. How about y'all walk into the desert and stay there? Tonto, this bitch, all you people walk to the desert and keep walking until you fall off a cliff. This movie can fall off a cliff. I don't even know why it's called the Neon Demon. There's some neon lights in it. There ain't no demons in it. The demon, I guess, Hollywood, I guess, eating people up and spin them back out. I wouldn't say Hollywood. It's just the industry, the modeling, eat people up. But again, if you want to see that done better, The Substance did that way better than this. Which is why no one is fucking talking about the Neon Demon, but there are people talking about The Substance, so which is a much better movie. That has stuff to say. You say has symbolism, but is a much better. Because that director, I liked what she did in Revenge. I like what she did in The Substance. That's more films of hers I like than Nicolas Winding Refn. They're good-looking movies, but the stories and stuff are actually worth the shit. Nicolas Winding Refn, maybe you should not write anymore. Don't write your movies anymore. You're good at visuals. You're kind of like Zack Snyder. You're good at visuals. Don't write the shit. You're a terrible writer. Like, I don't need necrophilia in my movies. And that's why I'm like hesitating on what else to talk about, because so much of it, a whole lot of nothing happens. And then they bring up this dialogue for no reason. Like, why does she say, I'm not as helpless as I look? Or, I'm dangerous. No, you're not. Elle Fanning's character is as helpless as she looks. She's never dangerous. She just taken care of like that. No harm, no foul. Well, all the harm to her, to hell. Yeah, go up that hill and come back down when you're ready. When you behave, God damn it. That's what Nicolas Winding. Yeah, Refn, go up that hill and you stay in the corner by some fucking tree, and then I'll come get you when I feel like it. I'll wait a couple years so you just not make any more movies, at least in the near future. Disappointing director, man. Drive really sold me in a false bill of goods for this director. Stop writing your movies, man. Please. You want to write them on a napkin. Write them on the side of a Cracker Jack barrel. And just keep it there. Don't film it. Just write it out of your system. Leave it there for someone to find. They look at it. They throw it away in the trash where it belongs and move on. The Neon Demon. And Keanu Reeves, why did you do this movie? Like, anybody could play this part. He's a motel manager who's a dick. He has 3 scenes. Like, was there really anything to this part? Now, maybe he's like, I really like Drive, and I want to work with the director, so I'll do anything you want. That may be the case. And maybe I can understand that where I like Drive. This director seems like something. I mean, if I saw Drive and then the director said, you want to be in something, I would have said yes. So I guess, and if that's the case, and some of these actors, they just read their part. Oh, okay, it's a simple part. I'm a creepy guy. Okay. They don't read the whole script. But yeah, no one remembers what the fuck this movie is, and no one's going to give a shit what this movie is. Came out in 2016, and everyone's already forgotten about it. For good reason. So, there you go. With that said, fuck this movie. Just suck my dick. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.